Hey, good afternoon guys, Tush coming at you. It's Monday, March 23rd, just coming up to 5 o'clock. And we're back out in the garage and we're playing around with the front suspension today. As you can see, I took it back apart. I had a problem with the threads on the lower trunnion. So we've gone ahead and got the die out and chased that, and we re-drilled out our holes for our cotter pins. So that's good to go back on the car. So we'll get back to reassembling this. We got the bottom spring plate out, the spring spacers, and the spring pads ready to go. We're going to disassemble the caliper back plate from the vertical link so we can screw that down into the trunnion all the way, and so we're going to get to that. I did install the rear cables for the emergency brakes on this car. I do need to get a little clevis pin for that. I do have one on this old piece, but I'm having trouble getting that out. It's rusted in there pretty solid, so I'm going to dig around in my spare parts bin and see if I have another one of those. If not, I may have to order them. They are a little threaded clevis, so we'll have to get that. We'll have to find one of those. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. We'll get back to working on this front suspension, and hopefully when I come back, the spring will be in. Alright guys, quick update. The passenger side front suspension is back together. Not torqued up yet, but it's on there loosely. I still have to put the stops underneath and the shocks in, but I need to have some weight on the car to be able to do that, so I've got to wait for the engine to go back in before I put the shocks in, so those will wait till a later day. And so that's good. I'm happy with that. And I think what we'll do now is we'll move back to the rear of the car. I've got the rear sway bar out here on the bins, and I painted up the sway bar brackets over there, and I've got the sway bar bolts hanging. They were painted a few hours ago, so they should be good to go. So I've got new bushings, or new rubber bushings for those, so our poly bushings for those. So we're going to attempt to install that sway bar on the rear of the car. All right, okay, guys, quick update for you. Rear sway bar is now in. It looks pretty good. So we've got to move on to another project. I think what I'll do is I might dig out the front hubs and we'll separate those from the rotors. I don't have new rotors yet, but I'd like to have a look at the bearings and the hubs, and we'll get those cleaned up and maybe painted a little bit. And then at some point we'll have to order some rotors. But anyway, we'll maybe dig the front hubs out and we'll have a look at them and make them look a little bit better than they do today. Alright guys, we'll be back in a little bit. Alright guys, back out in the garage after some dinner, and just about to start those hubs, but I thought I'd show you that I put the dust shields back on. They're a little bent up, but hopefully we'll be able to straighten them out. That was the one that we had problems with getting it off the car originally, because the caliper was stuck on. We went to pick the car up, so we ended up bending that up pretty badly just to get it off, but I think we can rescue it. So they look pretty good. They're all painted up. Still digging the sway bar. So I'll just give you a quick look at the rotors and hubs for the front. That's what they're looking at. Pretty rusty. Dirty. Yeah. So we'll see if we can clean those up a little bit. Like I said, we're going to get some new rotors, but probably stick those back on the car temporarily until we get new rotors. But we'll take them apart, clean them up, put them back together. Alright guys, we got the front hubs off, and they really didn't want to come off the rotors. I don't think they've ever been off the rotors before. They were pretty solidly fused to them. Anyway, I got them off, and I've got the bearing out and the grease seal, and we're just looking at the inner races and they look good, so we're going to leave them in there. We're just going to clean all that old grease out of there. I've already taken a lot of it out. We've got the brake cleaner out. We're going to flush that out, and we'll move on to the other one. All right, guys.
The bearings up, and they look very good, actually. They're Timken bearings, which is good. They're not cheapos, so yeah, we'll repack those, and we're going to reuse those as well. Thought I'd give you a quick shot of that.
All right, guys, last update of the night. It's just coming up to 9 o'clock, and we've got the hubs cleaned up, and we've got them wire brushed down, and we've got them in a couple coats of paint now. So they look better. I'm not sure how much of this paint will actually stick to this. They were pretty greasy. I did the best I could with them, but whatever sticks, they'll definitely look better than what they did. So that's it for tonight. We'll let these dry overnight, and then we'll get out here tomorrow. You can see it's cold out here. I've got some paint drips. So we'll come out tomorrow and we'll play around with these, and we'll, like I said, we'll put the old rotors back on, unfortunately, and we'll exchange those out at a later date. So we'll just put these on loosely, and then we'll be able to get the car back on its wheels. So that's it for now, guys. We'll upload this, and we'll get back out here tomorrow. Have a good night.